At Mertech.com with your daily news update. Okay, here we are on July the 7th in the year of our Lord 2026, 7726. Okay, I've got some great information for you tonight. So let's just go ahead and click over here without further ado to Mertech on Rumble. All right, this is my Rumble channel, and this is the video we're going over tonight, episode 1971, that happened to be the year I graduated high school. All right, it says upcoming, but as you know, you are actually watching it, so let's go ahead and click into this. And Debbie BS, hi, glad to see you could join us. I'll be back with you momentarily. Okay, let's slide down here and click the Show More button. We have information from Dan Bongino, ACLJ Sekulow, Dr. Steve Turley, and Wendy Bell Radio. But before we get into that, I do need to give shout outs here to Shock Da, just started following my channel. Love Mertech, alrighty, just started following my channel. Tac Flame 1 just started following my channel. Sar Kralicha just started following my channel. Rooster 2 just started following my channel. GFish1 just started following my channel. So thank you very much, folks, for following my channel. I greatly appreciate that. I hope you're tuned in, and I hope you enjoy the content. All right, Debbie BS reposted my episode 1970. My Eagle reposted my episode, my extra 752B. Eddie 60 commented on my episode 1952, about 20 videos 20 days ago, 19 days ago. Viper Senior and Marcia S. Garden 911 and Debbie BS commented on my episode 1970. James Wah 11 just started following my channel. I think that's a 11. Maybe it's James Wall. Maybe those are supposed to be L's, but it's James Wah 11 looks like to me. But at any rate, Debbie BS commented on my extra 752C. And Debbie BS commented on my extra 753A. Debbie BS and Cotton Ball commented on my extra 753B. And I don't know why this is down here. Real News DFW commented on my episode 1970. That should be up here with this one, but okay, I guess I'll just have to dock myself a day's pay or something. But anyway, thank you so much, folks, for reposting my video and giving me your comments. I enjoy reading your feedback, and I definitely appreciate your support. So let me go ahead and give this a thumbs up. All righty then. Let's see what Dan Bongino has to say on This Could Change Your Child's Life, episode 2547. Okay, let's see what this is all about.
ammosquared.com today. It's like shitting all over the U.S. team. They probably shouldn't have even made it that far. It was a fun game to watch. We lost. Congratulations, Belgium, whatever. It was a good run. I all had a good time. I'm not even a soccer fan. I watched a game last night. They didn't play particularly well. It happens. Like, all these people so eager to shit on America. The liberals were like celebrating, like, it's the Trump curse. Get the fuck out of here. The Trump curse my ass. They're like, he showed up at the Knicks game. The Knicks won, you dumb shits. Did you miss it? Who won the finals, Justin? The Knicks, correct? Like, well, Trump showed up at a game they lost. They lost one game out of four. What are you talking about, you dumb bastards? Guys, ladies, stupid is a choice. Liberals, you don't have to be stupid. It is a freaking choice. Can you please just stop being stupid? Take a stupid vacation. Take a hiatus from stupid. Take a sabbatical. Take a stupid sabbatical. They played great, the U.S. team. They lost last night. It happens. It happens. Congratulations, U.S. team. Good job. God bless America. I'm happy I lived here. I'm happy I live in this country. I'm ecstatic about the 250th birthday. Team did okay. Liberals are freaking excited yesterday. The Media Research Center is a great outlet. They put together this video. I'm going to place a little bit of it. This is, you want to see why, like, liberals, progressives, socialists, commies, and foreign governments and foreign countries, a lot, but not all people, have this ridiculous view of what the United States is, the shooting gallery, murder capital, the universe, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. Media Research Center put this clip together. It's fantastic. It's how the media in the United States, a lot of this scum, tells the world the United States is versus what the world saw when they came here for the World Cup. And they're still here. Enjoy yourselves. World Cup's not over. Wish all these teams good luck. Have a good time. Where's the finale? Up in New Jersey up there, I think. Is it in the Giants-Jets stadium up there? Great. But don't believe the bullshit, folks. These people are nothing but doom and gloom. Check this out. You'll see what I mean.
The World Cups are always sort of a window into the politics of a host nation and into the geopolitical moment. And in this moment, what we're seeing is the U.S. co-hosting this event in a moment of great turmoil and uncertainty and instability. And that's going to show up in a lot of different ways.
Nothing comes close to the USA. The people, the food, the landscapes. I was well and truly born in the wrong country.
I just love it here.
The rest of the world is looking at the United States and feeling that we are it's a foreboding image and that we are inhospitable.
We owe America a huge apology because America is nothing like what the media tells us.
Where are you guys from? Where's everyone from?
Japan!
What do you think of America, of Texas?
Texas is good. Everything is big.
I ask a medium size.
That's medium.
Ma che medium?
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
I have to say that I'm embarrassed for this country.
It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed to be an American. Yeah.
And of course, Larry is embarrassed to be an American. In that way, we should all be.
This old couple just walked past me and they go, "Good morning." I was like, "What the hell? Did you guys talk to each other here?"
It's so beautiful. Everybody's so friendly, Southern hospitality. The air smells nice.
Our president's vengefulness, dishonesty, and bullying should make us all cringe.
If you love America, cringe for it.
Absolutely incredible. There really is. Like no other. I honestly think unless you live in America or unless you visit here, you can't really comprehend how nice these areas are.
Juice McGroin in the chat. If you're embarrassed, then leave. Yeah, go. Folks, I'm in the South a lot. Well, I live in Florida, but you know what they say about Florida. The more south you go, the more north you get. I mean, it's south geographically speaking, but South Florida is a lot of northeasterners. But I'm in the South a lot, like Alabama specifically. I'm going to tell you something. I put a post up a long time ago after the Iron Bowl. Was it 3 years ago? The Milroe miracle. I'm an Auburn fan. Here's a Milroe did not play for Auburn, so it wasn't a miracle for me. Congratulations to the Alabama fans. But I'm going to tell you something. The game was in Auburn. It was a huge upset brewing. Auburn was going to beat Alabama. They were a huge underdog. And we lost on a, 42-yard touchdown pass by Milroe at the end of the game. And I'm walking out all depressed, and all these people with Alabama gear on who had come to Auburn. They're like patting me on the back. "Damn, we love your show. Sorry, man, but it was our day today." And I go back to the hotel. I think I was staying in an Opelika Marriott, right? And I wake up the next morning at like 5 a.m. I was just so wired. I get up, my cortisol must have spiked early. I couldn't believe they lost the game. And I type out this big, long thing about the South and how the people in the South are just different. You're like such amazing people. Even when they want to like curse at people, they bless your heart. Bless your heart. Like that's the way. That's not how they do it in New York. It's just such an amazing place, man. I don't want you to wake up today all depressed about everything. Be a happy warrior, man. Lead the charge down the battlefield. Don't fall prey to these doom and gloom grifters, man, please. Because then what's going to happen is you're going to find out that when your only goal in life becomes to shit on the United States and to accumulate power to destroy this place, and make no mistake, that's what the modern progressive liberal communist socialist move. They're all the same thing. Cut the bullshit, okay? Progressives, notice I didn't include Democrats. There are some Democrats, you got like your Fettermans out there who I don't believe are communists. I wouldn't vote for them. However, I do not believe Fetterman is in fact a communist. However, liberals, progressives, socialists, and communists are all the same thing. Please stop the bullshit, okay? Stop. It's the same thing. They believe in the accumulation of power to steal away your freedoms, your wealth, your kids' education, your health care, everything. Period. Please stop, leftists. Stop the bullshit. Stop selling us a pet rock and telling us it's gold. We know what you're doing. The Graham-Plattner debacle should be Exhibit A in every future political trial against the Democrats. I've warned you forever that the Democrats' only goal in their triaging their life goals, their only goal is power. They do not care about your health care. They do not care about immigrants. They do not care about your kids' education. They do not care about your job, economic growth. Frankly, folks, they don't even care about tax rates. They care about power. They care about accumulating power. Why did they support Graham-Plattner despite allegations like, this is a red line, a woman came out alleging a sexual assault? That's a freaking red line. Not the allegations of masturbation. I'm trying to be cool about this. In a ported potty, the masturbation. That wasn't enough. The Nazi tattoo wasn't enough. This is definitely the only reason that the Democrats are now pulling their endorsements behind Plattner. It's not because a red line has been crossed. It's because the odds of Graham-Plattner defeating Susan Collins and assisting them in obtaining power and taking away your health care, your finances, your job, your kids' education, your freedoms and liberty have gone down. That's it. Cut the bullshit. Graham-Plattner was a vehicle for you to accumulate power at our expense and take away our liberty and freedom. Cut the shit. His chances of winning went down and you threw him overboard. That's the only reason any of this happened. You don't think Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, AOC, and this other crew of dipshits, you don't think they knew this guy was a problem? There's stories out there of him satisfying himself in a porta john. Here's Elizabeth Warren. Not long ago, it's a couple weeks. This is my guy. Keep in mind, they knew the whole time. If Graham-Plattner had a 60% chance of winning after these allegations, they'd be attacking the woman making the allegations. Bank on it. Check this out.
I am here because Washington needs fighters, and Graham-Plattner is the fighter we need. You bet. I said to myself, that's my kind of man. Because that is a man who not only has the values, but a man who believes in accountability. And we need a little accountability coming out of Washington right now. We need Graham-Plattner to come in and get rid of the corruption in Washington. Time for new laws.
Well, you'd be the first to go, B.I.H. It's unbelievable. We need accountability in Washington. And they are the ones that jumped all over Doge for finding fraud and corruption. Hey, you want accountability? That was accountability. But you Democrats were all over that. You didn't want to lose your piggy bank. So what kind of accountability is she calling for? These Democrats frustrate me so much and make me so mad. I almost feel like cussing like Dan Bongino.
So Pow Wow Chow here. Pow Wow Chow's like, we need a fight. He's fighting with his wiener in the porta-john. These guys like, that's a bridge too far. No, it's not. This is your guy? We need accountability. Accountability? Oh, he's accounting for something in the Porta-John. Just like something about Mary. She accounted for it too. She's like, what is that, hair gel? That's the only thing they were accounting for. Elizabeth Warren, powwow chow lady. Did he account for his bodily fluids? And I mean, what? This is the red line now? The people, there are allegations out there that major media outlets, Politico reported the story about the latest allegation. And just to be clear, like, listen, I accept evidence. I don't believe everyone. Women, men, I believe evidence, okay? That's not the point. The point is they already knew about this. And who did I tell you we did this show? Folks in the chat, chime in. You know, we got the contest going, so be picking comment of the day. Who did I tell you was one of the most, if not the most dangerous politician up on Capitol Hill in America right now? Who is it? Some of you in the chat will know this because you pay attention every day you're here. Who says it first? Pocahontas, a lot of chat folks. Graham, Dan is the one. Yeah, I know. You guys know I'm in a mood. Ro Khanna, who said it? Oh, Kmart. Good, Kmart. Good prices, too. I don't know if you're a stock. Kmart, yes. Ro Khanna. He is the biggest fraud I have ever seen in my life. This guy is the worst chameleon up on Capitol Hill. He's even worse than Elizabeth Warren powwow chow. Because Warren, you can see through her bullshit. I had high cheekbones with Papa, so I thought I was an Indian from like the Seminole tribe. Get the guy. You didn't believe any of that shit. Ro Khanna is... You listen to this guy talk on TV, he goes on Fox, and you're like, wow, this guy's for real is like a sensible Democrat. He's a clown and a fraud. Why do I bring him up? Here's his tweet about masturbatory guy in the Porta-John. Like, oh, now there's a red line. I mean, here's his tweet, Ro Khanna, about... What do you got up on the prompter up there? He said, it's been very clear that sexual assault or violence against women is a red line. They knew about this. These allegations are very serious and credible. So is the That's serious too. Graham Plattner should drop out of the race. I'm withdrawing my endorsement. This guy's such a clown. How are you falling for this guy's bullshit? Guys, man, listen. Ladies, gents, I understand this is a conservative political show. I get that there is a preaching to the choir effect, but you're a very good choir. I love you. You guys are very knowledgeable. I read your comments. I get your emails. You guys are the best. But I say to liberals who do tune in, I get the Media Matters a-holes. They tune in every day. They always have some dumbass comment about the show. I'm asking you, you liberal, progressive, socialist commies, you're all the same. Again, notice I didn't throw in all Democrats. There's some, coal miners in West Virginia who may be legacy Democrats from their parents. They love America too. That's not these people, okay? That's not these people. Why are you so freaking stupid?
All right, I'm going to pause it there on that high note. And click on the Rumble link. This video will be in my daily news wrap-up if you want to see more of it. All right. This is the video I shared with you from the Dan Bongino show. I've given him a thumbs up. I hope you do the same thing for me. All right, let's move on here. Okay. Looks like Debbie BS and GP Woco 01 has joined us in the chat. So anybody else want to jump in there, please do so. I'd like to know what you have to think. Okay, what you're thinking about. All right, there we go. All right, ACLJ Sekulow, major update during the Trump Oval Office meeting. Okay, and this is a little bit about what Dan started out with on this red card thing. Okay, so let's check this out and see what it's all about.
President Trump has now got himself in a bit of more controversy with appealing directly to FIFA. Now, we do know President Trump is the FIFA peace Award winner. Remember that?
That's right. He did get the FIFA World Peace Prize.
Right. You got the World
which
Peace
everyone
Prize.
knows is
Very
a thing.
established thing. President Trump did that. And look, we all were watching that USA game. All of us said that should not be a red card for those of us that watch soccer regularly. And for those of us that don't watch soccer regularly, we all at least said that should not be a red card with no justification or basis on any other game. Watched before, but we all felt that way.
All I did, and got entangled. That was a guy punched somebody in the face or anything that, would be different.
I think we're all being objective. I think those of us who follow the beautiful game do go, yeah, I don't think that was worthy of a red card. But I think we have seen some really bad officiating throughout this entire World Cup, and it feels like the officials are trying to be themselves within. It feels very much almost like the UFC, where you can point to one individual ref. You can now point to that guy.
Or it feels a lot like the SEC football. Like, it's like,
you find that one guy.
We got Williamson over there.
Exactly. Yeah,
He's
it's
being
very
paid
similar.
by Alabama.
That's the closest thing. But have you tried to picture what it's like to be playing in the World Cup, or to go to a World Cup game, or go to a game, even an English Premier League team? It is very similar in vibe to Southern college football, where it is a community event. You are representing your area, not just a school, or not just that you are a diehard with it. You were a big then you know the chance. Has a very similar emotion, very similar fan base that is just as passionate. So you take that and you broaden it out to the world stage. Now that's what we're seeing here. But we're also seeing this great positivity that has come from this. And I have been the last few weeks as the world, we are starting to get into the heated at times. And of course, it couldn't not get a little political.
When you see this conversation, it's not just about that President Trump, decided to make a call to and say, look, there actually this process because of the rules of the World Cup. So
that's what makes it a little.
Exactly. It wasn't like USA men's soccer could go themselves and file an appeal of the card. It's a broader conversation, right? Because you're starting to see the chatter around it of all the people that have been trying to put negative vibes on America, whether it be from the World Cup or for the 250th celebration. You saw Chuck Todd saying, it's just such a shame that we have to be celebrating the 250th with Trump as our president. You see all of the stuff I talked about last week with the fireworks display, with the Washington Post exclusive about pollution from the air quality, how bad it was going to be. By the way, update on that. CNN, they couldn't let Washington Post get all the credit. They put out on July 5th, so yesterday, residents of Washington, D.C. briefly experienced the worst air quality of any major city in the world, according to a company that ranks pollution globally, as the Capitol reckoned with the aftermath of a massive 40-minute 4th of July fireworks show. This goes all back to that. Whether it was
40 minutes.
Yeah.
That is a lot of fireworks.
Logan, it set the world record for biggest pyrotechnic display in history. It topped one that happened, I forget, Singapore, I believe, with more fireworks. It was 850,000 fireworks. Like, incredible. And at the same time,
I was nervous about that 20 shot that my kids lit in the backyard.
Well, I don't know that they are professionally trained pyrotechnic artists, so I would have been nervous for you.
Bye fingers.
But with all this, the fact that they're like, oh, it briefly experienced the worst air pollution in the world, it goes back to the conversation that we had last week and I know we had a caller that said I was being flippant about it.
Nice things.
It's what it feels like, because also at the same time, they're saying DC had this pollution issue. What about marginalized communities in Lake Buena Vista, Kissimmee, Florida, that experience fireworks shows, extended ones, every single night of the year? Yeah. They're not writing those stories.
There's probably 40 minutes of collective fireworks every night.
They agree with the politics of that company doing it. They're not doing those exposés. They clearly have a fireworks beat writer over at the Washington Post, but they're not getting into it. Why? Because they are being blinded by politics at a moment when the United States can look unified, can be strong together because people are enjoying our nation as we host the World Cup. We are seeing success in places we have not seen normally success to this level in the sporting world. People are recognizing that, oh, this is a good thing. And yet you're seeing at every turn the people on the left and the media organizations that back them up just trying their hardest to tear it down. There was a Washington Post headline this morning as tomorrow begins the NATO summit in Turkey. It says, as America celebrates the 250th birthday, will Trump declare independence from NATO? Like trying to be cute with the headlines about something that just should be a unifying thing. Right. The other flip side of that is there's a lot of people like, one can dream. So it's one of these frustrating situations where they don't want us to be happy. Yeah. They don't want us to be unified. They want to say, if the U.S. continues to have success in the World Cup, there's an asterisk by it.
Where you're hearing the good talk really coming from is when these people are traveling all throughout the rural areas, through the South. Again, when you think about Europe, you're thinking about it in a way that is so small comparatively to what we have here, that people kind of imagine Europe the way they even treat themselves. It's odd. I've been in London before, and people are like, oh, this concert is 35 minutes away. It's a whole nother market. It's 20 miles away. And you're like, okay, well, if that was here, that would be your local hometown arena show. But the way that it's just set up is very different. So now they're traveling across this country. They're seeing the good that has come through the United States of America, that it doesn't meet up to the force-fed lies that have come out of their version of the mainstream media, which is largely controlled often by the same players.
There was even headlines that said, the Democrats are conflicted about U.S. success. It says Democrats grapple uncomfortably with World Cup success. That is from Politico. So they didn't want the U.S. to be doing well in the first place because it's politically unsavory for them.
Well, it's even the whole cultural success that is happening on the World Cup. It's not even just to do with the team. The team itself, I think, is doing well. We'll see how things go. I think it's still going to be a very uphill battle. But that's kind of beside the point. The good PR that has come out of the World Cup about America has been well beyond what people expected. Because, like we've told you, you go to Europe, you go to the UK, you turn on the news, guess what they're talking about? Donald Trump, just like here. Sure, they may be talking about their own world leaders as well, but Donald Trump gets front page above the fold. They're all looking at us. Eyes are on America right now.
All righty then. Okay, let me jump back here.
Nations that back them up.
And stop. Hit the Rumble link and show you that this video does come.
All the airplanes flying back and forth.
Show that the video does come from ACLJ Sekulow, American Center for Law and Justice. I've given them a thumbs up. I hope you do the same thing for me. And they covered a wide range of things there, but, the mainstream media are just nuts. I mean, they can't help themselves but to lie like a pack of dogs, okay? All right, let's jump back here and see what Dr. Steve Turley has to say about why transitional diplomacy fails against civilizational destiny. A lot of big words there. Let's see what he has to say.
The beautiful city of Budapest, which has long been at the forefront of an astonishing civilization's renewal that's happening literally all over the world. If you want to understand our world, you're going to have to begin by understanding how the major actors in the world stage have changed. So for the past several centuries, the nation state was the main actor of world history. Everything was organized around it. Wars were fought between nations. Treaties were signed right between nations. The United Nations actually has the whole term built into its structure. That was the fundamental, irreducible unit of world order, the nation. You had your flag, you had your border, your passport, your seat in the General Assembly, and the flag was the highest thing that you could swear loyalty to. It was a remarkable system. It produced remarkable stability in certain regions for certain periods, and it's now unmistakably cracking. Not because nations are disappearing, obviously they're not, but something deeper has reasserted itself underneath the nation state, something that predates it by millennia and has never actually gone away. Something that, when it reemerges, renders the nation-state framework insufficient to explain what's happening in our world. And that something is civilization. And civilizations, unlike nation-states, are not defined by passports or constitutions or lines drawn on maps. They're defined by belief, by sacred memory, by a shared answer to the question of what human beings are for and what kind of cosmic order they inhabit.
Before we go any further, these videos from Budapest have been resonating with you. Civcosm is the strip club.
Okay, I'm going to get past
in terms of national interest alone, but in terms of Orthodox Christian civilization, the defense of a sacred Slavic world, that's civilizational politics. When Xi Jinping speaks not just of Chinese national power, but by the great rejuvenation of the Chinese civilization involving continuity of culture and identity stretching back over 1,000 years, 5,000 years, in fact. That's civilization. Or when Turkey, under Erdogan, positions itself as the heir of the Ottoman Caliphate and the defender of Muslim peoples everywhere, regardless of what nation they inhabit, that's civilizational politics. And when President Trump talks about the shield of the Americas and a new Monroe Doctrine that centers the entire Western Hemisphere around the United States, that's civilizational politics. When literally billions of people across the Western and Eastern world feel a pull towards something older, something more rooted, something that thin proceduralism of liberal democracy never quite satisfied, when they find themselves drawn to faith and tradition, community, and transcendent belonging in ways that confuse their secular neighbors, that too is civilizational politics. The nation state was always a relatively recent invention and a somewhat artificial one. It tried to take the deep human need for belonging and sacred community and channel it through bureaucratic structures and legal fictions. And for a while it worked, but the need never went away. The sacred never actually retreated. It was always waiting. So what exactly is a civilization in the sense that matters for understanding the 21st century? Well, a civilization is not simply a large culture. It's not just a region with a common language or a shared cuisine. A civilization is a sacred community, a group of peoples organized around a shared theological vision of the cosmos, a shared understanding of justice and transcendence, a shared story about where humanity came from and where it's going. That theological core is what distinguishes a civilization from a mere nation or a mere culture. Nations can be conquered and absorbed, cultures can be diluted and transformed, but a civilization organized around a deep theological conviction, one that offers its members meaning and identity and ultimate purpose, is extraordinarily resilient. It can survive military defeat, it can survive economic collapse, it can survive centuries of foreign domination, because it carries within itself something that armies can't destroy and markets can't price: a sacred account of who we are. This is why the return of civilization to center stage in world politics isn't temporary. It's not a backlash that'll fade once things calm down. It's a structural shift in the organizing principle of human community. The nation state was the dominant form for roughly 400 years. The civilizational form predates it by 4,000. And it's reasserting itself with the same confidence as something that knows it will outlast what replaced it temporarily. This shift has enormous practical consequences that most analysts are still not tracking with. The traditional geopolitical analysis asks, okay, what are Russia's national interests, or what are China's national interests, or what does Iran want for the Middle East? These are reasonable questions, but they're insufficient because civilizational actors are not primarily maximizing national interest. They're pursuing civilizational destiny. They're playing a game with a longer time horizon, a different definition of victory, and a willingness to absorb short-term costs that purely national actors would never accept. You can't negotiate with a civilizational actor using purely transactional logic. You can't deter a civilizational actor using purely material threats. You can't build lasting peace between civilizational actors by pretending their theological commitments are merely cultural preferences to be managed through diplomatic language. My newest book, Civcosm, is built around the recognition that civilizations, not nations, not ideologies, not economic blocs, civilizations, the main actors of the 21st century. And that understanding, civilizations, requires taking seriously what makes them what they are, the sacred. The first coordinate of Civcosm politics is theopolitics, a framework for analyzing how sacred communities compete, cooperate, and collide on the world stage. It's the tool you need to understand not just what's happening, but why, in a way that goes deeper than any purely secular analyst can reach. The nation state is still with us, but it's no longer the main character. Civilization has taken its place, and to understand what that means, what it demands of us, what possibilities it opens, what dangers it creates, you need a new framework. That framework is Civcosm.
All right, I thought that was interesting, and that's why I shared it with you. Let's go ahead and click on the Rumble link here.
Beautiful city.
And show you that this video does come from Dr. Steve Turley. It's the video I shared with you. I've given him a thumbs up. I hope you do the same thing for me. All right, let's jump back here. Okay, and slide on down and see what Wendy Bell has to say to us on John Thune Must Go. I think everyone in the chat will agree with that. Let me know what you think, folks. There we go. He's packing his box. John Thune, Senate office. I tell you, that guy is freaking worthless. He is. Whew.
For all. Amen. You know, I thought this whole uproar about President Trump calling the head of FIFA, right? The guy he knows, the guy he's been courting. You know, he's been on this since 2018, making the case that America should host the World Cup in 2026. President Trump, in his first presidency, when it was knives out, they had everything they were throwing at the guy. They had Ukraine, they had impeachment 2, they had the freaking Steele dossier, they had the PP tapes, they had all of these crazy allegations. Donald Trump is a horrible human being. And they stuck the landing with a lot of people who to this day believe all of that mumbo jumbo. And as he was dodging bullets like it was the freaking Matrix, Donald Trump is looking towards the 250th anniversary birthday of this country and goes after the flippin' World Cup, gets it, right? Creates those relationships. And then lo and behold, he picks up the phone when it's a bad call, red card, you know the one I'm talking about. And he's like, hey, maybe you guys could take another look, right? And what did they do? They did the right thing. You know, I get it. I get being on a team. I'm on Team America, right? I make no apologies for my adamant and enthusiastic conservative values. I am a mom. I have boys I need to give a safe, an honorable, a just America to. And I will fight every single day that you're here paying attention for that. Trump did the same thing for his corporation, the USA. Well, it's interesting how it all played out, right? The red card gets overturned. Balogun gets in, and he's able to play yesterday, and they looked terrible. America looked terrible. Team USA, they looked flat. They looked bored. They looked scared. They looked both. How it can be, but they were a step behind. And Belgium absolutely mopped the floor with us. And hats off to the Belgian players, right? I mean, they were phenomenal. We couldn't get it together. It wasn't the right time. Historic, making it to that round of 16 or what have you. A big triumphant thing. But this is exactly what President Trump was talking about. Don't take out the best player on Team USA, because if we lose the next game, then you've got a whole griping open door, sour grapes, woe is me. That's not fair. And he's like, let people play. Let people play. Let countries duke it out. Let us figure out who we are and where we are. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to placate us. Don't try to hide it like you've hidden Mitch McConnell, who we all just thought was a horrible lawmaker to begin with. And then a statue. And then, oh yeah, that little brief blip in the hospital was actually him suffering a freaking heart attack, being found unconscious. Somebody needed to do CPR. And now what are we hearing? Dude's brain dead, if not dead. Where the hell was the transparency on that? We're gonna dip into that conversation coming up in the next hour. But for Trump to stand up for Team USA, for America, and says, get all the rules out of the way. If it was a legitimate red card, he never would have called, right? And now, did you hear what FIFA did? Well, let's go back and hear what Trump said, because yesterday, last night, unless you've been living under a rock, the United States was eliminated from the World Cup after an historic run. It really was an historic run. And literally hats off and congratulations to the men's team. Fantastic job. Better team won. It's the way it goes, right? It's like in war. The stronger side wins. Whether you have better strategy, more people, better ammo, bombs, drones, whatever, if you've got better, you usually win. The better team won. Trump wasn't trying to make a victory. He was trying to unwind something that was going to cause a problem the next day. It's almost like he knew. It's so weird. It's almost like he knew. So I want you to hear what Trump said in the Oval Office on Monday, when the media were in an uproar. Can you believe the president fights for his own country? I mean, it's crazy. And the rest of us were like, yeah, it was a lousy call. And if there's a way somebody could review it, it's great. Go for it. This is what President Trump said. This is exactly why he made that phone call. Listen.
You want to see a game with your best players. You don't want to say, how would you feel if I took, we take Messi out? Look, he ran into somebody. Or we took Ronaldo. Ronaldo, you bunked into somebody. We're going to take you out of a game. He's great. Or Harry Kane. Harry Kane, we're going to take you out of the game, Harry, because you happen to hit somebody a little bit harder than you can't do that. If you would have taken him out, I think it would have really stained this incredible champion. We got to have our best players, and Belgium's got a great team, by the way. We got to have our best players. And they have to have their best. And if we win or we lose, it's fair. Otherwise, let's say we lost him and we lose the game. It would be a terrible thing.
Fairness. Isn't that such a weird concept? Fairness. In society that has been so punitive and so unfair, particularly if you're a conservative, particularly if you're a truth-seeking individual who doesn't lap up the garbage that the media serves every day. If you're one of those people who things just don't sound right to or feels a little uncomfortable inside, you were the enemy. You've been the enemy for years. They freaking hate you. They hate you. And MAGA, again, which is to them like Lord Voldemort. Don't say that name. People recoil, hiss, right? Really? About making America great again? See, what we've come down to is basically sides, and it's not necessarily political sides. It's crazy, and then, okay, not crazy. I'm on the not crazy side. The people over here who find offense with the American flag, who aren't moved by the national anthem, who wouldn't quietly admit to you that they've cried on more than one occasion, on the 4th of July or Veterans Day or any day that it's great to wake up to be an American. There's something wrong with them. And it makes me sad. There's no joy. There's no joy in me sitting back and being like, yo, you need an intervention. But ladies and gentlemen, this country needs an infusion. We might not be the therapists, who are going to do it, but our love of country. It's beyond patriotism. It's respect. It's respect. I respect this place. I will be true to this place. Donald Trump just wanted the players to play. At the end of the match, at the end of a game, at the end of a competition, there is a winner and then everybody else. And if you're not the winner and you're everybody else, there is a code of conduct. There are morals, values, standards. And if you're on the left, those flew out the window. You don't like the results? Riot in the street. Nobody ever said riots, or rather protests, had to be peaceful. What? You want to go break into a department store and loot the everlasting liver of it? Why don't you go ahead and do that? No. President Trump wanted it decided on the pitch. And the FIFA's president, Gianni Infantino, yesterday broke his silence before the game, before the match, before America lost, and said President Trump's phone call did not create the overturn. They reviewed it, and they did the right thing. Alas, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a country that does the right freaking thing, choose Team America, not all the other people out there rooting for us to lose. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, that quirky oyster farmer, that communist guy, Graham Plattner, wow, he had a bad day yesterday. Sucks to be him. Can't wait to tell you all about it. As the Democrats are trying to do the Heisman and rebuke him. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
All righty, let's move this up here.
How about you? Here we
go.
Not a good day to be Graham Plattner. Welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. So, look, I want my side to win. I do believe my side is Team America. But the way I see Team America surviving, thriving, and being better than ever for always is for Republicans to continue to win. Are Republicans perfect? No. And I'm more offended by the scumbags in the Republican Party than I am by those I presume are scumbags just because I've paid attention to them in the Democratic Party. That said, I would not put my eggs in the basket of somebody I believed was dubious morally ever, if that meant my team was going to win. This is what I think I would be like if I was a politician, if I was involved in the upper echelons of decision making. Look, they're desperate. The Democrats are desperate to regain control of the Senate. They're desperate, and they'll hold their nose with a Graham Plattner. And when a Republican woman comes out and is like, he raped me, he forced himself on me, they're like, I don't know what I think. But if it's a liberal woman who comes out and she's like, yo, that guy's bad news. He came into my house, busted basically in the door, drunk, pushed himself on me, raped me, and then basically passed out in my house until the next morning. Now all of a sudden the Democrats are like, yeah, about that Graham guy, I'm not so sure about him. Well, I thought we would start because we're going to spend the next half hour talking about all the allegations and the reaction, which is always more interesting. I want to remember all of the times the Democrats defended this guy in Maine, because I remember him, right? This is a great mashup of Ro Khanna, Liz Warren, Chris Murphy, and Bernie Sanders, who, by the way, is like the only Democrat to not rescind his endorsement of this guy, Graham Plattner. Let's go back and remember all of the glorious things they said about this humble little oyster farmer.
The Nazi tattoo was something that he owned up to. He said it was a mistake. But Graham has made it clear that there was no evidence of violence. That, to me, is a red line. He has unequivocally owned up to it, said that it was wrong, that he learned from it.
Why you think he's your kind of man?
he has apologized and evaluate not who Graham Plattner was, but who Graham Plattner is today.
And I guess I have a view of redemption.
Sounds like a human being to me, a human being who made mistakes, recognizes them, and is very open about it.
Graham Plattner is the fighter we need.
One of the things that drives me crazy, our inability to stand by progressive Democrats, or Democrats for that matter, because of some dumb thing or inaccurate thing they may have said in their past.
Endorsed Graham Plattner.
I'm not overly impressed by a squad of media running around saying, "What do you think about the tattoo on Graham Plattner's chest?" Between you and me, there might be one or two more important issues.
I did ask if there were any credible allegations of assault, of domestic violence, of rape, of having any inappropriate relationship with a minor, and I made it clear that for me is a red line, and he said no, there is not.
I think the only person who had worse day yesterday than Graham Plattner was Ro Khanna, who is desperate for you and his multi-hundreds of millions of dollars personal fortune. He wants you to believe he's the next guy. He's the guy that can bridge the gap between the Democrats and the progressive / socialist / communist. Well, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Ro. I don't think your endorsement, all the glowing things you said about Graham Plattner are going to come back and do you any favors. By the way, seeing a picture of Graham, wearing a towel and taking a selfie of his body and reportedly using that on like an app, a dating app or some kind of an app for teenagers. Yeah, I'm going to go with you're really so not what America needs, brother, at all. And now Ruben Gallego, man, he just knows all of the wrong wagons to hitch up to, I'll tell you. He's like, well, the allegations against Graham Plattner are troubling and deeply serious. I am rescinding my endorsement. That's so weird because it was like not that long ago. What was it again that he said, Brock?
This guy is an authentic man. He's not anti-Semitic, and more importantly, not more importantly, but just as important is that he's going to win this election. And we need to win elections. We cannot go another 4, 5, 6 years, trying to get the Senate back. Like, we need to consistently win, because whoever's going to be president in 2028, we need to hand them the House and the Senate.
Yeah, I'm not so sure your math is mathing there, sir. Ruben Gallego, Eric Swalwell's BFF, not looking too stellar in his buddy choices, right? We need to win. Now, I have to ask you, is winning with a terrible candidate still worth it? Democrats would say yes. I want to believe that if I was in their situation, desperate,
you probably need to get
that I would say no. But I don't know. All we can do is pay attention to who says what and who says nothing. And so far, in the I'm saying zero for our Hispanic guests today, the one who has said not a word is Bernie Sanders, the Vermont senator, who pretty much buddied up to Graham Plattner and made him a thing, a potential rival for Susan Collins. And I don't like Susan Collins. Right? It's not like we're coming up roses either, but So what is he accused of doing, this Graham dude? Woman claims that he raped her while they were dating. He denies it, but he's canceled all of his campaign stuff. And the decision needs to be made imminently. Is he in or is he out? And if he's in, Democrats are screwed. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
All right, I'm going to pause that there, but this video will be in my daily news wrap-up. Let me click on the Rumble link and show you that this video does come from Wendy Bell Radio. This is the video I shared with you. I've given her a thumbs up. I hope you do the same thing for me. All righty, let's jump back here. And let me go ahead and copy these chats into a comment. and make them a permanent part of this video because I think they're important. Folks, I've got like 20 people watching here and 2 people have chatted. So, if I could get some people to chat with me, that would be great. I do want to show you this. This is my creator program requirements, okay? 20 hours for hours streamed for Rumble Studio this month. I need, 30 hours. I've got 66.5. Now, for some reason, obviously, Rumble thinks people chatting on the videos is important. Last month it was 20. Okay, this month it's 75. I need 75 unique chatters. That means someone that's not chatted with me at all this month. It would be great if you could just give me a chat, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a frowny face, whatever. Just put something in the chat box. I need 75. Right now I have 26, so I'm a third of the way there. So I really need some people to chat with me. Okay, Rumble Premium, let me know what podcaster you like so I can maybe include them in on the show. Okay, Rumble Premium exclusive hours, I did that like on the first day of the month, on July 1st. I need 5, I got 5.9, okay? I'm not going to do any more than I have to on that simply because some people don't want to pay the $25 a month or whatever it is for Rumble Premium. So, I'm not going to require people to do that any more than I most positively have to. Hours watched this month, I need 500. So far, I've got 1,760, 1.76 thousand. Total unique raids this month, I need 5. I've got 20. Okay, and then they want me to create some shorts. Those little short snippets. Rumble Shorts updated, I needed to create 20. I've got 55, so I'll have that by the end of the week. But I'm really, really going to need people to start chatting with me. And if you can, coax other people in the chat to chat with me, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate that. Okay, let's jump back over here now that I've, pled my case and cried in my beer. Let's jump back over here. And remind you folks that these videos that I've shared with you are videos that come directly from the producer. Okay, I've got the links to the videos here in the description box, as well as the links to the producer's channel if you want to go check out more information that they might have. And these videos that I've shared with you here are videos that I've posted on Murtech.com, where I have over 40 no-nonsense, common sense, logic, and truth information here. This is your one-stop shop for information that you're not going to get on the mainstream media. Now, I've got a link to Murtech.com in the description box. It's a free site. I don't ask for your name. I don't ask for your email address. I don't ask you to sign up for a newsletter. I don't drop cookies on your computer or have ads popping up in your face. It's strictly to provide a place for you to come to so you can get the news and information that you're not going to get on the mainstream media. That's my whole sole purpose of creating these videos, is to give people the ability to find out what the hell's going on out there and not have to listen to the lies and propaganda. And there are many examples of it in the video tonight, of the lies and propaganda that the mainstream media tell you. Okay, I'd like to share all this information with you, but unfortunately I don't have the time to do so. And that's why I put together Murtech's Daily News Wrap-Up playlist. It says I have 20 videos in here. We're going to start off with Wendy Bell Radio, where we left off. Dan Bongino, we have some X22 report, We the People News, Steve Deace show, also Matt Morse show, Matt Morse TV, and we know AP for Liberty. A ton of great information in here, about 10 or 12 hours worth of great stuff. But as of right now, go ahead and take a break. Grab a cup of coffee and a donut, or a sandwich and a soft drink, or a beer. Maybe a nice glass of wine and some cheese, and meet me back here in about 15 or 20 minutes. But in the meantime, folks, I do want to thank you for being here. Hopefully, I'll get to see you again tomorrow, and may God bless.